I'm stronger than you think.
I don't doubt that.
And I won't let anything happen to my son.
I was lucky enough to see the movie up at Telluride at the world premiere. People loved it up there. It was really great. And I have to ask you, you know, Adele is such an interesting character. And what in the script or what did Jason tell you that made you want to be in this project?
Well, I think there were many things, really. I mean, the script was absolutely wonderful, as was the novel. And Jason is a great director whom I really admire, and the same goes for Josh Brolin. He's such a wonderful actor. And I also had heard from a lot of people that he's a great guy. You know, he's a lot of fun to work with, and that always helps, especially when you're playing two characters that have to be so close together. And so I think really, for me, it was a combination of all of those things, but I think mostly the complexity of Adele combined with the simplicity, really, of the love story, which, you know, is really very pure and simple when you peel back all of these layers. There was something very beautiful and unique about that, I felt. And also that every single thing that happens in the film is so unexpected. You know, at the beginning you just think something very bad is going to happen. And very quickly you realise, well, maybe it's not, but you're still not quite sure. And that feeling continues for a while until you really settle into the purity of it. And I just felt that that was quite unexpected and unique.
And Adele has this moment and where she must at some point realize that she's fallen for him over the course of the weekend. In the script or when you were shooting, do you in your own mind know, like, this was the scene, this is one of the moments where she realizes that she's fallen for him?
There are probably several different moments, and I don't know if there is one specific one necessarily. But this is a man. There's raging testosterone in her home, and that hasn't been the case for her, I think, for a very, very long time. And I think it just wakes her up, regardless of how she might be feeling. And I just think gradually she just allows herself to look at him for that little bit longer, or just stand that little bit closer to him and not feel afraid, and just gradually lets herself fall. I think it's a very gentle thing.
I have to ask you as well about your young co-star, Gatlin, who is, like, amazing in this picture. Can you talk about working with him? And I know you've worked with young actors before, but what did he bring to the set, and what impressed you about him?
Well, he brought so much every day. He really did. He was very prepared. He was incredibly professional. And we were just so lucky because he's a really wonderful boy. In many ways, he is Henry. He is that sweet, good person. He has a very kind heart, and he's extremely compassionate and respectful and so professional. And he also had the right balance of talent and nerves, you know, because you have to be a little bit nervous, otherwise you don't try. You know, you have to be fired by something, and fear is a good thing in a situation like that one. And I had a great relationship with him. You know, I could see he was quite nervous very early on, and you know, I just reminded him that we all were, which was true and is always the case. It doesn't matter how many years I've been doing this, I still feel like every movie is the first one I've ever done, and that I'm going to be dreadful and I've forgotten how to act. And Gatlin, I think as soon as I said some of those things to him, I could literally see, you know, his face went from white to slightly pinkish, and he seemed to kind of, you know, feel somewhat comforted by that. But I think I wanted to be his friend, and I wanted to have a relationship with him that would be also apparent on screen. You know, it is important to create that warmth as well, because sometimes you can't act that. And also he's of an age as a young man where it's not the most comfortable thing in the world to just sling your arm around somebody and give them a hug at the beginning of the day. And you know, Adele and Henry do have that closeness. They do have that relaxed affection with each other, and as a consequence I was lucky enough that I was able to find a balance of that as well with Gatlin.
Well, it was great. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
Best of luck with the baby.
Thank you very much.
For breaking entertainment news and more, follow @HitFix on Twitter or visit hitfix.com.